We spend decades obsessing over our retirement accounts, tracking every percentage point and dividend, but the hard truth is that money only buys you choices if you have the physical capacity to actually make them. Physical capacity is the ultimate currency. To understand what you're up against, we have to look at two distinct metrics. Lifespan is simply the total number of years your heart keeps beating. Healthspan is the total number of years you live independently, doing what you want when you want. Modern medicine is highly efficient at extending your lifespan. We have pills to manage blood pressure, stents for arteries, and procedures that keep us surviving long past historical averages. But keeping you alive doesn't automatically mean preserving your physical autonomy. This graph tracks what happens starting around age 60. The top line is lifespan. It stays relatively stable. But this bottom line is healthspan, and without intervention, it drops sharply. That growing gap represents the dependency years, a period of survival with physical freedom. Closing that gap has to become the absolute focus of your post-career life. Outliving your retirement savings is a stressful thought, but outliving your own body is a far more severe threat to your daily dignity. If you look up health advice for seniors, you will instantly drown in aggressively cheerful listicles. 7 things every retiree must do, 10 easy tips for a vibrant life. Those lists fail older demographics because they gloss over reality. They ignore the stiffness in your joints, the very real drops in daily energy, and the heavy friction of trying to dismantle 40 years of entrenched habits. Instead of a generic checklist, you need to treat your daily habits exactly like an investment portfolio. Every action you take has a cost, and it needs to deliver a measurable return. In this portfolio, the input is the physical discomfort and mental friction required to maintain a habit. The dividend is the exact amount of daily physical independence you earn back. This quadrant chart maps that out. The horizontal axis measures the physical and mental friction you have to put in. The vertical axis measures the longevity and independence dividend you get back. Throwing yourself into profound lifestyle changes without calculating this specific return on investment is a mistake. You will burn out, risk injury, and end up back exactly where you started. Let's evaluate the first major intervention: progressive resistance training, lifting heavy things. As we age, our bodies actively break down muscle tissue, a biological process called sarcopenia. Consistently lifting heavy weights forces the body to halt outwasting process and rebuild the tissue. The costs here are steep. You have to deal with intense, delayed onset muscle soreness, navigate a difficult learning curve to nail down proper form, and likely spend money on a trainer to show you how to do it safely. We plot resistance training in the upper right corner. It requires high friction, but yields a massive independence dividend. While sloppy form risks injury, proper execution prevents catastrophic falls. Once you overcome the initial shock, the strength gained rapidly outweighs the daily aches. Resistance training demands the highest barrier to entry. But if your goal is maintaining the physical freedom to get off the floor, carry groceries, or travel, it pays the single highest dividend. Next, we evaluate intervention number 2, overhauling your dietary protein and fiber. Eating significantly more protein and fiber stabilizes volatile blood glucose levels. More importantly, it provides the actual raw materials your body needs to maintain the muscle you are trying to save. But the friction here is largely invisible. It takes a massive amount of mental bandwidth to consistently track your macronutrients, read labels, and meticulously prepare meals day after day. There is also a heavy social tax. Adopting rigid dietary rules means disrupting decades of family dinners, holiday traditions, and the spontaneous restaurant trips you plan to enjoy in retirement. We plot dietary overhaul right here. It offers a very high physiological dividend, alongside moderate to high friction. The crucial advantage here is that eating protein doesn't require healthy knees. Because it demands zero joint strain, a dietary overhaul is the ideal foundational investment for anyone dealing with compromised physical mobility. Our third intervention targets the brain: active social and cognitive immersion. This is not the passive, built-in socializing you experienced at the workplace. You have to actively seek out novel, complex group environments, joining a strategy board game club, a language class, or a community volunteer group. The medical return on this effort is measurable. Immersing yourself in complex social dynamics builds cognitive reserve, which acts as a powerful buffer against dementia and the severe depression caused by isolation. The cost is primarily psychological. Stepping into a room of strangers and learning a new skill demands heavy mental energy, which can feel exhausting, particularly if you naturally lean introverted. Social immersion plots high on the dividend axis. The friction axis splits. It requires no physical effort, but demands an incredibly high mental toll. That lack of physical impact makes it an accessible starting point. You don't need medical clearance to join a chess club. Engaging with a community yields profound neuroprotective benefits. It builds the psychological resilience and daily routine you absolutely need before you try to tackle the more physically punishing habits. Waking up on your 65th birthday and trying to adopt all three of these interventions at once guarantees failure. Long-term success requires strategic sequencing. This matrix maps out exactly where you should start based on your current physical baseline. We have 3 profiles on the left: the overwhelmed beginner, the chronic manager, and the preventative optimizer. Across the top are our 3 interventions. The overwhelmed beginner is someone who enters retirement without any established health routines and is quietly terrified of a major medical event. If that's you, your starting point is social immersion. You have to build mental momentum, accountability, and a schedule before you can successfully take on physical strain. The chronic manager is someone already fighting a headwind, actively managing issues like osteoarthritis or chronically low daily energy. For the manager, the focus maps straight to a dietary overhaul. Fixing your protein and fiber reduces systemic inflammation and protects your muscle tissue without risking further damage to your joints. Choosing the single intervention that directly counteracts your specific vulnerability is the definition of high-yield sequencing. That leaves our final baseline, the preventative optimizer. This is a recently retired viewer who feels good, has a healthy baseline, and wants to protect their ability to travel and stay active. Here's the matrix for the optimizer. Resistance training becomes your primary focus, while diet and socializing take a secondary role. If you want to keep your current freedoms, lifting heavy weights isn't an optional hobby. It is a non-negotiable mandate to hold on to the strength you currently have. This brings us back to those internet listicles. Do not fall into the trap of trying to do 7 easy, generic things poorly. Picking one difficult, highly targeted intervention and executing it perfectly will always yield a better result. True health span optimization is an exercise in ruthless prioritization. It's about ensuring every single drop of physical effort pays directly into keeping you out of the dependency trap and strictly in control of your own life.